All right, what's up, everyone? My name is Brent, and welcome to another episode of the Work in Progress After Dark podcast. I am joined by my lovable co-host Casey.
The literal representation of the gray matter.
So today we are going to be talking about our first impressions of Hogwarts Legacy. I am roughly 18 hours in. I know that's hardly a first impression, but I do think that there, I still feel like I'm fairly early in the game, all things considered, because I do a lot of side stuff. Casey, how far into it are you?
Oh my gosh, I think I have even less hours into the game than you do.
Well,
in
yeah,
all
I think
honesty,
so, I got mine a few days early.
Right, and I will be honest, like I have been wanting to dive into this, but I haven't had the chance to, mainly because of just personal reasons. But I have been watching other streamers, and I have been seeing how the story kind of goes.
Well, how far into it are you?
Oh, I am just about to get my wand, in all honesty.
Oh my god! No.
Right?
Oh
right? That's why I
hardly gotten anywhere.
That's why I'm staying. No, I haven't actually gotten into the crust of the story as it is. I will state. I will state one thing though, is the fact that I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. You know this of me. I am the kind of person that I know all the ins and outs. I can actually deduce some of the character aspects that people don't even think about. And just going into this game, part of the reason why I'm getting so detracted from the game is because of my own computer glitches kind of thing.
Oh.
So a lot of the cutscenes and stuff, I am one of the people that are having the frame drops. So it's not necessarily a fluid experience for me.
Okay. And have you lowered any of your settings, your graphical settings?
Oh, all my graphical settings are set to low.
Okay.
That's the main thing is no, all my graphical settings are set to low. After I did play the game a bit, I did actually have to go into my own computer system to try to get all the NVIDIA stuff, situated, all those things, where I'm trying to decrease the amount of lag that I'm getting, because a lot of the things that I'm getting with the requirements is combat is being lagged, cutscenes are being lagged, and just a lot of the times when there's a lot of things on screen, it is lagging the experience. And I do admit that probably my computer is not up to snuff because I'm not a streamer. Okay. So I don't necessarily have all the requirements. And that I fully acknowledge.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Do you know your computer's tech specs?
Let me go ahead and pull it up.
All right, we're gonna see what we can figure out here. But yeah, so there'll probably be some minor spoilers from the first nothing too heavy with the spoilers, but I might talk about some specific characters that are really intriguing to me. And mostly Sebastian Swallow, the Slytherin, and his friend Ominous Gaunt. They're both two
Mm.
really fascinating characters.
To be honest, that is one thing that I have heard about. And here's the thing. Okay, Brent,
mm-hmm.
you know me.
Sure, I know you
What
very well.
what is my house?
You're Hufflepuff,
I am a complete and total Hufflepuff.
right?
I always try to go into a game, like the very first thing that I go into a game about
Mm-hmm.
is trying to complete the game as me as a person would complete it. I have
Okay.
done that with Fallout. I have done that with any kind of open world RPG where I try to complete it to what I feel okay with.
Okay.
At the same time, I've also noticed people that, at least streamers, and this is the one big thing, and a lot of people can attest to this. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of streamers have been going about it with, like, going a dark Hufflepuff route.
Okay.
And it sounds ridiculous, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I can honestly understand, because how many times do you hear about a dark Hufflepuff?
Sure.
You don't. At the same time, I'm also wondering how going a good Slytherin would be detrimental to the game.
Well, here's the thing. Like, there's no outstanding consequences for doing anything bad. Like, from what I've read, and
Mm-hmm.
and I'm only saying that because that information is out there, because people are genuinely curious about the unforgivable curses, and if they can use
Mm-hmm.
them, and if they're gonna like have any kind of no. Basically, like, from what I've read, is that like the worst that you're gonna get are like gasps if you're like doing something out and about with like an NPC partner, right?
Right.
So like but like there's no in-game consequences for using the dark arts. So for the character that I'm running, I'm a Gryffindor.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised that I got Gryffindor. And I'm wondering, like, it makes me think. So it makes me really think about like the sorting that we did. You remember how I flipped flipped a coin?
Yes, I
And
do.
I'm wondering what could have potentially been different if I had gotten tails.
Well,
Like,
in all honesty, even that, what you're experiencing, kind of goes with what was in the Harry Potter books. Because one of the things that Dumbledore did tell Snape is he literally makes a statement of, I wonder if we sort too soon. And
I
how
don't remember
that
I don't remember them having that conversation. What
it,
book
it
was that?
was it was in Deathly Hollows when Harry was actually going through Snape's memory.
Oh, that's okay.
And
So what was his what was Dumbledore's sort of reasoning for making that statement?
it was after well, of course, it was after the whole Voldemort saga, between, like, before Harry was even born.
Right.
And Snape willing to, give his life to Dumbledore in order to protect Harry.
Mhm.
And Snape was, I believe it was around the same time. Don't quote me on this, people that are watching this, because I might be like slightly wrong. But it was when Snape was basically telling Dumbledore about how Dumbledore was setting Harry up to be a pig for slaughter.
Mhm.
It was around those memories, which would happen at the very end of Deathly Hollows when Harry was
Right.
going through
Like,
Snape's
literally, like,
memories.
one of the last few chapters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Dumbledore did mention to Snape about how, I think that uh, we sort them too soon, because Snape himself shows peculiar shows characteristics of, like, Gryffindors.
Okay.
And the one main factor, especially when it comes to the sorting hat, is the sorting hat will pick whatever you choose.
Mm-hmm.
And that also kind of came into effect with Harry,
Right.
because the sorting hat wanted to put Harry into Slytherin,
Yeah.
but Harry chose to be in Gryffindor. And so that's kind of the whole thing, is like, it's all these like very subtle nuances.
Right.
But
Yeah, it just makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if like, just like the flip of the coin could have changed things. So do you have your tech specs? Do you have your tech specs open?
all right, what are you specifically looking for with that?
Okay, so I'm just looking at the minimum system requirements.
Okay.
What kind of CPU do you have?
Let me pull that up here. System. What kind of CPU I have?
Well, hang on. Here's a better question. Do you know how much RAM you have?
How much RAM? So how much like save space and stuff like that?
No. RAM is the it's not your it's like your random access memory, the stuff that like that gets accessed when you're actually running something.
All right, let me see here.
Not your hard drive, not your like storage space, but your like the space, like the.
Okay, I think I'm getting everything here. Give me just a moment.
No problem. But yeah, so like Sebastian and Ominous, they're like hardcore, like they're hardcore good Slytherins. Like they like Ominous Gaunt. The Gaunts are descendants of Salazar Slytherin, and he despises dark magic. He despises it. He doesn't want to use it at all.
That's the weird thing that I'm also noticing in the game, is like the Slytherin. First off,
well, so Ominous isn't as prominent as Sebastian. Sebastian is he basically is pursuing specific like means of using dark magic for a very good reason. Basically like it, and you'll find this out in the first chunk of the game if you follow his story, is that his sister was cursed and she's not allowed, and she can't come to Hogwarts, and so he's trying to find a way to cure his sister. Like those two characters are like the most interesting characters that I've encountered so far, simply because like I know like the typical like the status quo of Slytherin, so it's really interesting to see Slytherins that aren't like straight up evil, like the ones that we're used to seeing.
No, like in all honesty, the last time that you see a good Slytherin is what is that professor's name?
Slughorn?
Yes. He's literally like the epitome of a good Slytherin in the books. And I do actually have my stuff. You asked me how much RAM I have installed.
Mm-hmm.
I have about 8 gigabytes of RAM.
You need to double that.
I completely believe you, because this is an old system.
Yes, it's like, and that's the minimum requirements, right? What about your CPU? What kind of CPU do you have?
That's a processor, right?
Yeah,
I have like Intel Core i7.
Okay, so you have an i7. Okay, so you're over the requirements there. What's the speed of? Do you know what the speed of your i7 is?
The gigahertz that it gives off.
Yeah.
4 gigahertz.
Okay, you're fine. What's your video card?
Video card, I have an NVIDIA.
Okay.
This is something I'm going to need to go into. Hold on.
And folks, if you're just joining, we do have a few viewers. If you're just joining us, Casey here is having problems running the game, so we're going over the minimum requirements for him to run it. And I think right now it's the RAM. The RAM is causing you problems. You're supposed to have
I'm
double the
pretty
RAM.
sure.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, because you've got a
it's also the
good
reason why I
processor.
wanted to get a external hard drive for my stuff.
Well, no, so RAM is different. RAM is different. Okay. Like RAM is what is being used when so someone described RAM in a very when I had a hard time understanding what RAM was, someone actually explained it really well. So say that you have a like a working desk, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a desk in front of you. Okay. And then you have a filing cabinet. Okay. Say that you have a desk and a filing cabinet. Your
Mm-hmm.
filing cabinet is your hard drive, is your hard disk storage. So like your hard drive where you store all your stuff, right? Your RAM is what you pull out of that hard drive and then start working on your desk. Okay. It's the file, it's like the pieces of paper that you have on your desk. So that's the best way to sort of differentiate the two. The RAM is what is being used when you actually have something open and running. So that is the reason why your game is having problems, is because your RAM is you don't have enough RAM. You need twice as much. You need twice as much RAM as what you got. And you have a total of 8. Do you know how to change that out, Casey? If you got more RAM, do you know how to change it out?
I honestly have no clue on that.
Okay. Yeah, it's tricky. But you might have to look into that, because yeah, most games now require like, uh-oh, I lost him. Oh no. Well, folks, how's everyone doing today? That's not me, is it? Yeah, I don't think that's me. Let's make sure it's not me. There he is.
The wrong window.
There you go. Uh-oh. Did you clicked out the wrong window?
Yes, I clicked out of the wrong window. I will totally admit that.
Yeah. So I think that's so. Did you open what your video card was saying?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Oh,
I
don't worry
do know
about it.
that I
I think
have
you're on it.
NVIDIA.
Yeah, all you know is that you have an NVIDIA. So like, I bet you anything you have enough. I bet you anything you have enough with your video card. It's your RAM. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's honestly like probably no way of getting around it.
At least
I
until they
don't
do
even
a
think a patch
patch.
will. I don't even think a patch will fix the problems that you're having. If anything, a patch will make the problems that you're having even worse.
That's what I'm kind of wondering about, especially since a lot of people are having the exact same issues that I'm having. Like, what is going on to where they're not able to satisfy that? Because every single problem that I'm having has been noted by multiple people, and
Oh,
especially
really?
within the PC, in the PC verse.
Okay. Oh, you're having. Okay. Oh, I see what you. So, Hogwarts Legacy trick fixes. Let's see what we have here. Sure. Oh, hang on. Cancel.
So it's been like, I know I'm not the only person having these issues. These issues are known.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Because like the cutscenes don't cut out. I have not had any issue with like the game crashing. It's just that when it comes to combat and when it comes to the cutscenes, there's obvious frame drops where it just kind of like keeps cutting in, and you keep getting like freezes and lag from what's going on. And yes, it has affected me because I have tried to, do Protego and Stupefy.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I can do that, but other times, because my buttons are not being accepted, it's actually causing me to miss the time frame in order to be able to do so.
Okay. Let's see.
Yes,
So,
stuttering. There we go. That's the best way. Stuttering. It's
okay.
stuttering itself.
Okay. An unofficial fix for performance issue playing Hogwarts Legacy has been posted online. Launched in a less than ideal state. The fix has been a boon for many fans. Many fans' frustration over Hogwarts Legacy's PC port. Release on February 7th. Okay, this is not to say that the game isn't entirely free of problems with myriad of performance issue PC. Okay,
This is the main reason why I do also state, like, no, Hogwarts Legacy is still getting a really good review, even though that it has obvious performance issues on that.
right. I don't want to read through this because I can't make heads or tails of it, but I can email I can message this to you later.
To be honest, I probably have already seen it, and I've been trying
Okay.
to do, like, that was my Friday night, is where I'm trying to get everything sorted out.
Oh,
I did have some things sorted out where it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad, to like the point where it detracts. There have also been issues where, like, I go into a place and you see the flu network, where you see the green flame come up. Sometimes I don't see the green flame, kind of thing, and so that's why I'm just kind of like, I wonder if I just don't have the ability to see it.
Well, okay. So are you talking about like when you go into the map and you see the flu network of places that you can fast travel to? And some.
Oh, no. Right? I can go into the map and I can see where I can travel to. I'm literally talking about when I am there, walking around, and I can literally see the flu, where like the flu would be with the green flame, and there's just no fire right there.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like it was never that was never, what's the word I'm looking for?
Never
like the fire was never there. Yeah, exactly. That the fire was never activated. That's what it looked like to me, where there was just no fire until way later on when I had to approach it from far away.
We got Juicy in the chat. He says it's kind of sad that it seems to need. It's kind of sad that it seems to need higher quality systems, given that the game appeals to a more casual audiences. Still looks amazing visually, though. Yeah, I mean,
I completely agree.
Here's the
with
thing:
that.
the game is huge. The game is huge. Like, I got a really good look at the map today, and it's a lot bigger than I thought it was. It's like, it's a huge map. It is a big map.
Freaking huge map. Like, this is the kind of game that I have wanted. And Juicy can attest to this because he is the one that gave me the time frame. I have been wanting this kind of game for 23 years. And he is completely correct. It is a casual game for people that don't normally play games. Like, people that I personally know that are Harry Potter fans but never play video games, they are interested in this. So they are not going to have the high-end stuff. But if you don't have the high-end things, you're going to miss things. And there are going to be things that are going to detract. At least with me, I'm still willing to work like through it because I'm used to that kind of stuff in video games. But people that have not played video games are not willing to work through those. They're just wanting to have a fun experience, but you can't have that fun experience when, the dragon at the very beginning is eating up the carriage, and it's just like, frame after frame, so it doesn't look seamless, and it just looks like all of a sudden you have a dragon come up, a dragon's mouth, and then a dragon's mouth closed, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like that really did kind of ruin it for me, because you do know I was watching streamers before this. So I saw that whole cutscene and how it was supposed to go, and then when I saw it on my own system, it literally just kind of it just made me sad.
That it was all sputtery.
Exactly.
Oh.
Because I know it was not supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Deke! I love Deke. He
thought I'd
reminds me
have
of Dobby. Rest in peace.
I thought I'd have some stuff playing here. But yeah, this is technically a story mission what we're watching, but it's like one of those story missions that unlocks something for you. So it's not like it's a it's not like it's not like it's a problematic thing.
It's a mandatory story mission.
Yeah, let's see what else is up
Which,
here.
to be honest, I actually do kind of like how a lot of the classes are mandatory. Because
Yeah,
if
not
you
all
go
of them
into
though,
it,
which is
not all of them, but there is a reason. And I can actually, like, even without having to go into the game, I can actually understand why there's a reason.
uh-huh.
First off, how are you coming to Hogwarts?
What are you asking me how I'm coming to Hogwarts?
Oh yeah, no, I'm asking you. I'm just kind of making a general question about it.
Oh,
How are you going to Hogwarts in Hogwarts Legacy?
you're not getting there the traditional way.
Exactly. You are literally a fifth year.
Yeah.
And so to me, that makes sense because even in like the Harry Potter books, when do you actually hear about Wingardium Leviosa? You know, Leviosa, not
Wingardium
Levioso.
Leviosa.
But that,
Sorry,
even
I
though
couldn't help
it's,
myself.
oh no, you could go ahead and make fun of it. I think they actually make fun of it in the game.
No, I'm talking about that little animated thing.
Oh no, but that's the whole joke about it is like the Leviosa.
We got Dip Down Anime in the chat. What's going on? We are talking.
Oh, what's up, Dip Down?
First impressions of Hogwarts Legacy. Yes, things are going well. What I'm just letting you know that what I am showing is early game footage, combat stuff. So there's no spoilers. Juicy says hashtag Casey need a PS5.
Oh my gosh, I am right there with you, Juicy. Like, if I wish that my computer could keep up the speed, but obviously it cannot. And now I'm starting to realize I need to start buying computer parts now.
Yeah. Well, dude, like, when's your birthday?
April.
Dude, I'll get you RAM for your birthday. Go pick out the RAM that you want within like a reasonable price, like less than $100. You can get 16 RAM. You can get 16 gigabytes of RAM for less than $100. You can.
I will look into it. I will look into it.
You go pick it out. You buy it. And I will Zelle you the money for it. Okay.
I still need to look into computer parts for my nephew because he wants to build a computer himself. So
okay.
But I will definitely look into it.
So what you guys are seeing here on the screen is my sorting ceremony, which so originally Casey and I did do my Pottermore quizzes during a podcast about a week ago, but I had to take it down because like my full name was just plastered all over it, and I didn't know how, and I wasn't particularly sure how I wanted to feel about it. So I imported my Pottermore stuff. I imported my house and I imported my wand. So what you're seeing here, I didn't pick any of this stuff that
you did, just not here in the game.
Now I will say that the next video that I show will be my wand selection, and I decided to kind of mess with the shaders of the wand a little bit, but I still went with what Pottermore gave me. So I did. So the Pottermore thing, I did get Gryffindor, and essentially like one thing that Casey and I talked about earlier in this particular podcast was there was a point in my Pottermore quiz where it asks heads or tails, and I literally flipped a coin, and we were debating earlier whether or not like heads or tails, like actually how much the heads or tails affected the house that I went into. But either way, I decided to flip a coin for that. And then of course I imported my wand. Now that is one thing that I'm kind of disappointed about. And I think we've had a conversation about this earlier, was that, it would have been a really cool and probably a really easy mechanic to implement, to have wand stats matter. Wands are purely like, it's like you could go in and like mess with the sliders as much as you want, and wands are clearly are like really really cosmetic. But in the world of Harry Potter, like different cores and different types of woods have different, abilities, and it would have
Yes,
been really. What?
I will completely agree with you on that. Wands should matter because even in the Harry Potter universe, in the books and stuff, depending on the wand core, depending on the wand wood, is actually more adjacent to the personality of the person that has the wand.
Right.
And they even made a huge thing where you had to win the loyalty of the wand because wands themselves have their own mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I do completely agree with you that no, the wand should make a huge difference. And I kind of,
Well,
and
I don't think it needs to make a huge difference. I just think
not,
that it
not
should, like,
necessarily a huge one. I do it. Let me go ahead and go back on what I was saying. But like, for example, one of the things that in this game, however, is like you're using a borrowed wand at the very beginning. So you
right.
can't use all your magic within that wand.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no real show of how your magic kind of goes through the new wand. It still feels the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, which is kind of a disappointment, because I'm like really, like honestly, like I'm really proud. Like, even though like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I'm proud of the wand that ultimately I got, I got, I have.
Mhm.
Um, and you're about to see it here. I'm about to go and take a look at that. So
I,
do
I, I
the
do I do honestly have to laugh as well because I mean I was here doing the Pottermore quiz with you,
right,
and you're in a different house than me, but we
right.
have almost the exact
Yeah,
same wand.
yeah. I think so. So yeah, Casey and I, we have the exact same wand,
I
except I
think
think
yours is like
mine's a
half an inch taller
longer.
than mine.
Yeah, mine's a half an inch longer, than his, which was a lot of fun. Let's see here. Oh, it's the volume's really, so we'll just keep that at that. Anyways, but
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm
but
just having fun watching your own gameplay through here.
um,
Though I
so
do actually enjoy how Ollivander is not as creepy as he is in the books and the movies, because this is like a ancestor of his.
oh, that's right. Well, hey, but isn't that's right? This is because the Garrick Ollivander that we know in the movies,
Oh, he's not
is.
even born yet. He's
Are
not
you
even
sure
a
about that? I thought
twinkle.
he would know. Are you sure?
This game
Because I thought
happens literally
but I thought
hundreds of
that
years earlier.
I thought I thought Ollivander like was like over 100 years old though.
He is, but once again, this game takes place hundreds
No,
plural.
this game takes place in 1890, so 100 years.
Okay, 1890. So okay, so 100 years. No, but at the same time, like he might be 100 years old, but once again, Dumbledore is almost like 100 years old,
No,
and
he's
he's
like
not even in the game.
150, isn't he?
He is.
He's
Um,
he's he's old.
in fact, I'm trying to think of it this way. Mm, at this time, if I remember correctly, even in the Harry Potter books, the Goblin Rebellion was literally just being talked about as magical history.
Right.
And even and that would still be like within like the past history of magical world, whereas um oh, what's the guy's name that made the Philosopher's Stone? He's also in
Um,
Fantastic Beasts.
I don't
uh
remember.
Basically the guy that made the
Nicholas Flamel. Nicholas Flamel.
yes, Nicholas Flamel. um Even they stated like, oh yeah, he's not even within like the known research within the past 100 years, so he's not
Mhm.
even within like the history of magic at that time.
Okay. Okay, so I got a story to tell you, right? I got a story. And this is one of the reasons why I really wish that you were in my Instagram chat. Um
Oh, I'm
okay,
gonna
so
love this
before I
thing.
get there, so here's my wand. The only thing that I ultimately went with, the only thing that I ultimately changed was just the look of the wand, but I kept the dogwood, I kept the dragon heartstring, I kept the slightly springy and the 12.5 inches. So I kept all of
Uh-huh.
that. The only thing that I messed around with was like the actual look of the wand.
Right.
As you can see what I'm doing here, because like I was just trying to like go with something that looked like really really cool. In hindsight, I'm kind of wishing that I went with that one silver. That's
uh,
so
I
so
was gonna say like that gray one looked really
yeah.
good.
I went with this one. I went with that gray, but I still kind of mess around with it a little bit. Um,
See,
and,
but
and one of the other things that I did was I like
uh-huh.
I I I messed with like the wood type, but literally it's such a bummer. Like I messed with the wood type a little bit. It didn't change the aesthetic of the wand at all. It didn't do anything. I am very disappointed with the wand selection. That's like the one thing that I'm super super disappointed with. Like
Mhm.
they could have done all sorts of cool like aesthetic stuff, and then of course they could have done like different perks for different wand types, things like that. Uh, but yeah, I'm very disappointed with the overall
that
wand ceremony.
that is honestly one of the things that I am wondering if they might change later on.
They should.
Oh, I trust me, I am right there with you. I think they definitely should change that because the wands make the wizard.
Right.
I don't care what they say in the books, the wands make the wizard. And it was even a big thing with Harry because what is the one thing that I
See, I
know
even
both
messed with
you
it
and
to
I
see if the
hate
length.
about it?
I even messed with it to see if the length changed, and
Mm,
it didn't. The length didn't even change on screen.
mm.
Um,
Well,
that spiral one would have
even
been cool in hindsight,
even
but
in the books, what is the one thing that you and I both hated in the books or
oh
in the
my god, no,
movies?
no, we both hated in the movies.
Hmm.
Didn't we both hate this part in the movie?
Yes, we
So
did.
we both it was the movie, right? So we both hated the fact that at the end of Deathly Hollows Part 2, he snaps the elder wand
Hmm.
instead of using it to repair his wand. I don't know why they went with
Exactly.
I don't know why they went with that. Like that was
I
like it's like you could easily do that. That's not a hard scene to create. It's almost as if like he didn't read the book. And it's like
I don't think
it's
he
like
did because a lot. I've actually read some of the stuff about the director and how he wanted to go about things, and one of my major issues, and this is coming from a Harry Potter fan, is the reason of Voldemort's death is that he was a male, or that not he was a male, he was a man. So him dying and not, exploding into like ash and stuff
yeah,
like that,
yeah. Oh,
that
yeah.
meant something in the books because it showed he was
He
a
was just
mortal
another
being.
he was just another man that could die. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
And and the one thing I did not like in the movies was how him and Harry were, as they were fighting, they kept like,
Flying around.
exactly.
Oh yeah. Oh my
What
god.
is
Yeah.
that?
Deathly
When
Hollows
they're
Part
oh my
Deathly
gosh.
Hollows Part 1 was really, really good. And then Deathly Hollows Part 2 was just like I've had to learn to separate the two
Mhm.
in order for me to like enjoy them. But like Deathly Hollows Part 2 is garbage.
See,
Like it's
to
not
me,
real.
when they were, transporting from one end to another during the final battle, I could
Uh-huh.
understand the director because the director stated that he wanted them to like show like they are a mixture of each other. That I can understand because that
Yeah,
is
but
how they were. It is a visual representation of what was going on. But at the same time, when you're detracting from actual crucial information, then that's where you lose the characters. And
yeah.
you lost the characters in the story.
We lost all sorts of stuff in that climax. We lost
Oh,
all
please.
sorts of stuff.
The one thing I will state is I hate Hermione in the movies. I hate Hermione in the movies. Even from the very beginning, she is too freaking perfect. I hate her. I love Emma Watson. I love how she portrays Hermione because she did it spot on. I hate the character in the movies because
Oh,
that is
okay.
not who Hermione is. Hermione was always the smart one, but when it came to like very stressful situations, she would lose her head. Whereas Emma Watson's Hermione, oh no, she knew
Which is
exactly
perfect.
what to do.
Okay, so I have a story to tell you.
Do
I
it.
have a story. So I'm in this Instagram group chat with some some good guys, and
Mm-hmm.
um one of the guys, his name, he goes by like the Gamer Critic, and he's been on here a couple. He was the guy that I did the Game of the Year stuff with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. Yeah.
Okay, so he's been all excited for Hogwarts Legacy like crazy. He's been super excited for Hogwarts Legacy.
Hell yeah, I'll go ahead and
Eh,
fist bump him on that.
But hang on, hang on. So so basically what happened was he asked like how much longer is this game going to hold my hand? And I said just get to the room of do story missions until you get to the room of requirement.
Mm,
Once you have the room of requirement, then you can then you can go off and do your own things, because by the time you have the room of requirement, you have some basic spells under your under your wing. You have you have all of the primary mechanics of the game, whether it be like the disillusionment spell, things like that. The only thing that isn't present until you get to the next season in the game is Alohomora. Like once you really the game really truly opens up and feels really good once you have
mm,
the first level of Alohomora. There's 3 levels of it. But I told him, it's like, you can go off and you can start doing stuff once you get the room of requirement. And he goes, what is that? I guess I must have a ways to go. And I'm like, you don't know what the
oh,
room of requirement is?
dude. Oh, that
And he
hurts me.
and then so what let me pull up these conversations a little bit, because like I about short circuited when he started talking to me, because like he was hyping the game up in a way that made me feel like he at least had like a bit. He was excited for the game in a way that I felt like he had at least some basic knowledge of Harry
Hmm.
Potter. And and
Well, even in the movies, the room of requirement was never really addressed. It was.
well, it's a the
It
room of requirement is prominent in number 5. Like I mean, like it's specifically like
no,
like
no. That's why I say like it's addressed, but there's no lead up to it
mhm.
because there are multiple leads up to the room of requirement. And this is also where I feel like the movies have failed
so
people.
so basically he's talking about how like so initially the whole situation started when he asked like he's like, I'm enjoying Hogwarts just fine, but how long does it take for the hand holding to stop? And all, you know, I'll admit, like, yeah, I mean, like the hand holding goes like, if you just get to the room of requirement, it takes about 3 or 4 hours to get to the room of requirement.
Okay, so like most games in their tutorials.
Yeah. So, or
I
at
mean,
least now
look at
yeah.
freaking Kingdom
And
Hearts 2.
so basically, like he and another person are chatting, and basically I kind of came in. I finally came in, and I was like, the hand holding ends after the room requirement, and then he goes, no idea what that is. So I guess I still have ways to go. Um.
Oh,
And
that
like,
just hurts
and
my
then
soul.
I did the hand slap emoji, like the hand over the face emoji, and I just said shame on you. And another person in the group was like, yeah, kick him out. I was like, and I was just like, I can't even grasp how he doesn't know about the room of requirement. And he's like, bruh, y'all overestimate my knowledge of Harry Potter. I don't know anything. I know the main characters. And I'm like, yeah, but so basically, like, he basically knows nothing about Harry Potter, and yet he's been like excited about this game for a while. And
Hmm.
um
He loves the world. He just doesn't understand the story behind it.
I don't even think that but he goes on to he's only seen some of the movies, and some of them included only the Fantastic Beast movies,
Oh,
and like
dude.
he hasn't
Oh,
watched any
dude.
movies. He hasn't watched any of the main Harry Potter series since like Deathly Hallows Part 1 came out. Um
Well, I mean,
and
I can understand that.
and then like and then he goes on to say, he's like, question, so is the room of the so I just got to the room of requirement, and he goes, is that where Harry Potter saw his dead parents in the Sorcerer's Stone? And I said, Jesus effing
Oh,
Christ. I said, Jesus effing Christ, but I used the word. Um,
dude, you just killed me right now.
it's
You just
like, it's
killed
like,
me.
it's like, like, and then he goes on to say, like, Harry Potter is like, he said, he goes on to say, is like, and Harry Potter is overrated, to be honest. Like, dude, what the hell? It's like, what are you, it's like, what are you doing?
Whoa!
It's like, what are you doing playing this game? Like, what are you doing playing this game? And he goes on to be like, oh, the flying's cool. The story's a little weird. And I was like, dude, it's like, you're not going to like this game if you don't, if you, it's like, you're not going to like this game if you think Harry Potter's overrated. You're not going to like it if you think Harry Potter's overrated.
No, you're not. You're gonna love this game if you understand the lore and if you understand what the story is. You're gonna be okay with it and actually enjoy the game if you have an understanding with the movies. But
Yeah.
if
I
you're
mean, if
going
you had
into
just like a
this,
super understand, it's like, but
if
like,
you're going
but
into it with like a superficial, like hyped up train, like this is gonna be a great game. No, because a lot of the game has to do with the lore. A lot of the game has to
yeah,
do with understanding what has happened beforehand. And now
right.
you're getting more knowledge to that. And you're just being able to immerse yourself within that world. But if you're not already trying to, or if you're not already enjoying that world, you're not going to enjoy the game. Period. And I'm sorry, I love your friend, but oh my gosh, he killed my soul.
I know. I'm like, it's like,
Oh, like even
he's
in the
like, what
movies,
are
the
you
room
doing
of
playing
requirement
this?
wasn't that big of a thing. It became that big of a thing later on in the
He's like
books. But
he's like basically sitting there, and he's like, when does the game pick up? Like, I'm ready for things to get going. I was like, dude, this is a Hogwarts experience mystery. It's not gonna really get
mm,
any more like crazy than what it is that you've already done.
in all
Like,
honesty, like I can even state how it is a Hogwarts game because one of the first things is Professor Weasley coming up and asking you, "Oh, hey, why did it take you so long to get to the castle?" And you have a choice of telling her what took you so long or not telling her what took you so long. And that actually does align with the books because that is a choice that Harry himself had to do. Is like, should I tell them about this or should I not tell them about this? And it makes a difference because it's a difference of experience.
like very like I'd have to say that very little of this game, like I like, you're not in combat for like a good 2/3 of the game. You're
Oh
not in
yeah,
combat for
I
it.
I haven't even gone against the first troll. I mean, that's where I'm at. Like, the only combat that I have seen is in class, and it is dealing with statues. I have not actually even been able to fight
you,
other wizards right now.
yeah, and I mean, you can go look for combat, um, but like a good chunk of the game is it's not combat. Like there's puzzle solving with spells.
It's a story.
There's
It
this, yeah,
is
like
you're literally a student, and that's how they make it. You feel like a student. You're just trying to figure out all these mysteries that have probably already been solved. But because it's new to you, it's that much better.
I will say though, the combat is superb.
Oh, I am loving the combat. The whole
combat
being
is
able to
like,
hold the counter where you can do Protego and then right after do Stupefy. I'm freaking loving it. And I am looking forward to like the different combinations that I can do with things. See, I haven't even gotten to this part.
Yeah, this is during the fall section.
I'm loving this. I am loving the fact that you are able to do so many different kind of spells.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it just feels natural. And one thing that I can even note is, okay, that was the first time that I saw the signal where you should put up Protego, but you didn't.
Oh, yeah.
The other times you're putting up Protego, just like, trying to keep your own rhythm. But it's like, you don't even need to focus on that. And I'm just loving all of this. This is the kind of shit that I am loving because it flows. It literally just flows with you.
I'll admit that I've got to work on some of my like some of my sort of like some of my spell combinations and where I have them mapped out, because like I'm almost 20 hours into the game, and there's still a lot that like I'm still kind of getting used to how you map out spells and things like that. And
well, you're also used to like Elden Rings and stuff like that, where it's more about dodging than countering. Whereas with this one, you don't have to take that much, or it doesn't take that much of thought process in order to counter.
Yeah, no, I've gotten a lot better at using like, I did this earlier today. I did this segment earlier today. And since doing this segment, I've actually gotten a whole lot better at casting Protego and then using Stupefy to counter.
To be honest, it literally just helps so much. I mean, I know I haven't gotten into it and I haven't really like battled, but I can even tell you the fact that you could just hold the counter option instead of like trying to match the corresponding buttons makes so much of a difference. And maybe I just realized that because my computer keeps lagging behind.
One of my favorite things that you can do in this game is, and you have to use it, you have to unlock it through a perk, is you can Expelliarmus a weapon. So, and you might have seen like the prompts to do it, but you can Expelliarmus a weapon out of an enemy's hand and it'll go flying up in the air, and then you could catch it with R1 and throw it back at them.
Okay, I haven't seen those prompts. Is that the red prompts?
So let me see if I can find it here again. Maybe I may have actually already done it.
To my own understanding, the red prompts are things that you cannot counter.
So here, watch this. So I'm gonna cast.
So I see the R. Okay, there's the R1.
So I'm gonna cast Expelliarmus on someone here, and I don't do it in this video, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm gonna. Why did I do that?
I don't know. You're the one playing the game. I can't tell you why you're playing it that way.
Expelliarmus on that guy and his weapon go flying. So watch. So there, his weapon went flying and it has an R1.
Oh, so you can actually bring it into your hand.
Well, you don't bring it into your hand. You just take it with your wand and throw it back at him.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't actually
honestly, that
use it.
makes way too much sense then.
Yeah, it's a really cool mechanic, and I finally just like figured it out. And man, I really wish that I had recorded. I'm really
I
wishing I really wish that I had recorded the troll encounter that I had. I'm really
I
curious.
do find it very interesting because you actually have like what you should press in order to do different things.
Hmm.
I don't have that in my game, and it might just be within my settings. Like I don't have press this button in order to bring something to you.
Well, the thing is, you haven't played long enough.
Oh, does
You
it come
haven't
in later on?
you haven't played. See, you haven't even gotten your wand yet. Like I said, this is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons why, like, I tell, like basically play until you get the room of requirement.
Hmm.
Play until you get the room of requirement, and then you're good to go.
Okay,
So like,
I'm definitely gonna have to play. Plus, I want the mystical creatures because that's the only reason why I want to play. I
if
I,
you
I want I want the fantastic beasts, which
want
by the way is one of my favorite parts at the very opening. I will state when your character can't see the thestrals at the very beginning,
right.
and then after you see that one guy get chomped by the dragon, all of a sudden the thestrals appear. I freaking love that part. That just that's how you know that they are actually adhering to the Harry Potter lore.
Right. Yeah, and I think I actually have a Thestral now that I could ride. Um, but
One
I
of the
don't think I'm
best
going to. I think I'm
mounts.
just, huh?
I mean, not in the game itself, but within the Harry Potter universe or the Wizarding world, I should say. Thestrals are always the best mounts because they can travel really long distances without being told where.
Oh, well, you can fly wherever you want with whatever you have
Oh
in
yeah.
this game. Um, in any case, we're coming up on an hour here,
Hmm.
and I think I might actually want to try to play a little bit more of the game before I go to bed tonight.
Oh, I'm
So
going to do the same. So
So so I guess we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up. So that's just been kind of like our Harry. I don't know how much first impressions we really got into, but I know that I broke some things down. And we talked about tech specs. But yeah, look into RAM, look into how to change it out on your computer, and I will get you that for your birthday this year. Whether whenever whenever you say that you're ready to go get it, just let me know, and I will make sure that I have the I'll make sure to get the money available to you as soon as possible, so that way you can get the RAM and actually have a good RAM, a good amount of RAM in your computer.
will
So
do. I mean, as I said, like even though it has detracted me, it's not ruining my experience with the
mhm.
game. I'm still
But
loving the story. I'm still loving everything that I'm seeing.
mhm.
It's only like the cutscenes and stuff where I might have issues with, but overall, I am loving this game, and
Yeah, you get to
I
the
am
room of
going to
requirement.
dive into it. This is
Get to the room of requirement, and then you can officially get going.
I am definitely
Um,
going to be doing so.
yeah. Well, that about does it for us tonight. We had people hopping in and out throughout the evening, so thank you very much.
Mhm.
Juicy, thanks for hanging out. Dip Down Anime, thanks for coming by. And we will see you on the next podcast, whenever
Yeah,
that might be.
Juicy, we love you. We miss you. We hope
Yeah.
everything goes well. Dip down. We love both of you guys, and we hope that you guys can come back. And we just want you to be happy humans.
All right. Later, everybody.